Come on.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, my name is Makinze and I'm going to show you how to do this easy, simple, beginner fall makeup look. So I know it's not fall yet, but fall makeup trends are on the rise. They're hot right now. Fall makeup is a lot of people's favorite makeup to wear. It's just super dark and rich and vampy with super dark lips and smoky eyes. Fall makeup is so beautiful, but to a beginner or someone that doesn't wear a lot of makeup, I know that fall makeup especially can be super intimidating. So I wanted to put together a look that was really simple, just all mattes with a little bit of smokiness on the eye, and then paired with a lip that isn't too deep and intense, nothing too dark, but something a little more neutral that also has a little bit of that depth to kind of ease you into these hot fall makeup trends of smoky eyes and really dark vampy lips. If you're just getting into makeup, someone just starting out, or if you're someone that just likes to wear very minimal makeup, don't let the fall trends scare you because they can be really deep and smoky, but you can also do something like this where you just have a little bit of those fall colors pulled into the eye with a really neutral, more nude type of lip, and it still kind of falls into that fall makeup category, but you're not going super dark and way out of your comfort zone. I do want to do a fall tutorial with a really dark smoky eye and a really deep lip, so that will be coming your way. But first, I wanted to start out with something that was a little simpler, a little easier for everyone to understand and everyone to do, whether you're really into makeup and you've been doing your makeup for years, or whether today is the first time that you've ever watched a YouTube video to try to learn how to do your makeup. I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. If you do, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and support me in that way. That would mean so much to me. I hope you guys enjoy this makeup look. I'm loving it. I love these fall colors on the eyes. I know that you can wear these colors when it's not fall, but when it is fall, it's like leaves on your eyes. You know what I mean? I absolutely love how this makeup turned out, and it was very, very simple to do. So if you are just starting out in makeup, I try to kind of walk you through step by step the process and kind of explain in a little more detail than I have in a lot of my other videos, because I do want to start incorporating more beginner type of videos on my channel, because you got to start somewhere, you know, and makeup can be intimidating. It can be a little bit tricky at first. So I'm going to be here to walk along beside you and help you out. So to start out, I'm grabbing my Modern Renaissance palette, and I've already primed my eyes and set them with the first shade Tempura. Then I'm taking this Morphe E24 brush and I'm dipping into Golden Ochre, and this is what I'm going to use for my transition shade. So I'm putting it right into the crease of my eye to really define that crease. Next, I'm taking the same brush and going into Burnt Orange, and I'm going to place that in the exact same spot as we placed Golden Ochre. And by doing this, it's just going to warm up the crease, and it's also going to define that crease a little more. So a transition shade is so that your other eyeshadows will blend smoothly and kind of have a gradient effect up. Next, I'm taking that same brush into Raw Sienna, and I'm going to put that in the exact same spot. I just really wanted this to be a really, really warm look, so I'm piling on 3 different transition shades. And I'm just going back and forth to blend that out. Next, I'm taking this clean brush. It has no product on it. It's a blending brush, and I'm just very, very lightly applying very light pressure to the top of the eyeshadow to really blend that out and make it really smooth and really even. I don't want to have any harsh lines, so I'm just going really lightly with a clean brush just to make sure that those edges are smoothed out really well. Next, I'm grabbing a smaller blending brush and I'm going into Realgar, this deeper orange shade, and I'm just going to start placing that on the outside of the eye all the way down to that tape. I put tape there to just kind of keep the edge really clean and sharp. And then once I have less product on my brush, I'm going to start putting that into the crease as well, but keeping it lower than the other shades. So you can see I'm building it on the outside edge, and then I'm bringing it into the crease, but I'm keeping it lower so that you can still see those other transition shades. I'm just continuing to blend this out. I'm kind of flicking it out on the outside corner, and then I'm going back into that same color and just applying some more right on top of where we just put that down. So I like to kind of pat it on and then blend it out. I'll do some windshield wiper motions, and I'll also do small circular motions. So I'm keeping this mostly on the outside edge. Then I'm going into this Tarte palette, limited edition, so you can't get it anymore, but any shade like this taupey brown shade will work. And I'm putting that right over the spot that we just put that deeper orange. I'm using the same brush and I'm just doing the exact same thing just to deepen up the look a little bit. Then I'm going back into Real Gar, the color we used before the brown, and I'm going to go right over that exact same spot again because I want the look to be more warm. I brought the brown in to deepen it a little bit, but I don't want it to be an overall brown look. I want it to have a really warm look. So I went back in with that, and then I'm going back into 2 transition shades that we used in the beginning and lightly placing those back in the crease just to add a little bit more of those colors. Then I'm taking that same clean blending brush we used before that doesn't have any product on it, and lightly I'm just going over the edges again just to smooth those out and make them really blended. And my camera died, but I just took a light shade with a more dense brush and I built that up from the inner corner to about 3/4 of the way across the eye just to brighten up the look a little bit. Then I'm grabbing the same blending brush that we used for the outer corner. I didn't add any more product. I'm just using what's left on it to blend the light to the dark. So this is the finished eye look. It's all matte fall colors with just a little bit of smokiness. Okay, now that the eyes are done, I'm going to move on to face makeup. I have already primed my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish, just the regular, their original primer. And then for foundation, I'm going to use this Smashbox Camera Ready BB Water. Mine is in the shade Light. And I did a fresh lash lift and tint yesterday. I won't be putting on any mascara or lashes or anything in this video because I am not supposed to get them wet for like 24 hours and it hasn't been that yet. And I also got a little bit of extra dye right here, if you see that black mark. So that's what that is. If you see that, we're just gonna cover that up. I'm using this Tarte foundation brush to smooth this all in. I really, really like this foundation brush. It doesn't have a name on it, so I don't know what it is, but I really love it. And I don't know if they even make it anymore because it doesn't have a name, so I can't tell which one it is. Usually I use a beauty blender for foundation. That's my absolute favorite way to put on foundation, but I didn't get mine wet today and I didn't want to get back up and wet it, so I'm using a brush. Am I the only one that does that? I never, hardly ever use a brush for foundation unless I have forgotten to dampen my beauty blender and I just don't want to get up and get it wet. And this is a really lightweight foundation. So if you are someone that is just getting into makeup or you're someone that just doesn't like to wear a lot of makeup or really heavy makeup, I really love this foundation. I'm going to tie my hair back really fast. This is one of the perks of long hair, is I just like tie it in a knot and it stays on its own. It's awesome. For concealer, I'm going to use my absolute favorite, the Match Perfect by Rimmel. I love the Tarte Shape Tape too, but mine is way too light, especially when I'm self-tanned. I have it in fair and it's way too light. It's basically like a white concealer. So if you're really light or you want something like really highlighting, go with Tarte Shape Tape in fair because girl, it is light. I'm just highlighting my face, so just hitting all of the high points on my face so that they look like they're attracting the light, highlighting. And I'm just going to use that same brush to blend this out. And when you do your eye makeup first, you just want to be careful when you are blending out your foundation and concealer that you don't get it in your eyeshadow. For my brows today, I used the Anastasia Brow Wiz. That's my favorite. Okay, I am having trouble covering that dye spot. You can see it a little bit right here. We're just going to have to ignore that because I can't do anything about it. Next, to set my face before I bronze, I just purchased this Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder yesterday. Mine is in the shade, what shade is this? I think it's light. Oh, fair. Mine's in the shade 05 Fair. I've heard really good things about this, but I've never used it over makeup. I kind of put it over my skin a little bit yesterday just to see what it would do. And it looks like it's going to be really good, so I'm excited about it. So I'm just going to set my whole face with that lightly so that when I go over the liquid products with powder products, they will blend a lot more smoothly. If you don't go over your liquid products with a powder product before you go in with like a powder bronzer, then it just makes your bronzer like pull more across your skin because you don't have that even smooth surface. This is kind of big to set my under eyes, but I was just going for it. Next, I'm going to finish up my eyes, and to do that, I'm going to take this Makeup Forever Aqua XL eye pencil, and this one is just in black, I'm assuming, because it's black. I don't know. I'm just going to tightline with this on my waterline, just really lightly. If you are someone that doesn't want a more smoky look than what we already did, if this is like too much for you, then just stop at what we did before. But I'm going to add just a little bit of this in my waterline, and then I'm going to go back into this Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to take this little brush that we used to pack on the light shadow on the lid, and I'm going to go into Golden Ochre just on the very tip of the brush. I'm just going to smoke out that waterline a little bit. And by adding some shadow to your lower lash line, it'll just kind of increase that smoky look. So like I said before, if you were okay with the eyes before and the bottom lower lash line is too much for you, maybe too dark or too smoky for you, then just go ahead and keep the eyes how they were, but I am going to smoke it out a little bit. Next, I'm going to take that same brush and the very tip of it, and I'm going to go into Burnt Orange, and I'm going to go right over that spot where we applied Golden Ochre. Just smoke that out a little bit more. Next, I'm going to go into this brush that comes with the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to dip very, very, very lightly into Real Gar. I just want very little of that, so I don't want to go too heavy-handed. And then right below that shade we just put on, I'm just going to go all the way across my eye. And then I'm going to connect it to this outer corner right there so that it all flows well. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going very, very lightly. I'm hardly putting any pressure on my brush until I get to this outside edge, and then I'm flicking it out a little bit. So you can see that by doing that, it just adds a little bit of smokiness on the lower lash line, kind of ties the whole look together. So if you want to do that, you can. If you don't want to, that is totally fine. I know when I first started in makeup, I hardly ever put stuff on the lower lash line. I didn't really even know that was a thing. So if you're in that same boat, don't feel bad. Makeup just takes time to learn and takes a lot of practice. Like, I have sat at my makeup desk for like hours and just practice. It's something that I really enjoy. But when I first started, I was not good. I was not very good. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know a lot about different products and different types of products. I didn't know anything. So if that's where you're at, don't worry. You just have to study and practice, and you really will improve if you keep practicing. Next, I'm going in with my Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer in Golden Days, and I'm using that same brush because this is the brush that I usually use for bronzer and not to set my face. And for my bronzer, I like to stamp it on my cheekbones and then kind of buff it out so that I can make sure that I'm not putting on a ton of product at once. By stamping it first, then I can kind of see how the bronzer places on my skin, and then I go and buff it out. And I'm not going to contour today. I'm just going to bronze up the skin. I just want this to be a really simple, easy fall makeup look that beginners can do, or people that don't like to wear a ton of makeup can do. So I'm not going to do any contour. I'm not going to do a ton of stuff in this video. It's just going to be, every time I hit there's like, it's just going to be very, very simple. So I like to bronze the outer perimeter of my face. So I'll do my cheekbones because I'm also not going to put blush on. I'm not huge on blush. I just prefer using bronzer instead and not using any blush at all. And then I go on the perimeters of my face and blend it back into my hairline a little bit. And then the same thing on the other side. And then I'll come down around the jaw and down my neck. Next, for highlight, I'm going to use the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. This is a great highlighter for people just starting out in makeup or people that just want a really more natural look. They don't want anything like too blinding or too much. This highlight is awesome. So a shimmery highlight and a concealer highlight are different. The concealer goes in under your eyes, down your nose, some of the same places as this highlight, but this highlight is to hit the high points of your face. So you want to put this anywhere the sun naturally hits. So when I turn my cheek, I naturally get a little bit of like a shine right here. You can see that. So that's naturally where light or sun would hit your face. So I'm going to put some there, and I'll go back and forth, and then I'll also go in small circular motions. And you can bring it down as low as you want on your cheeks. I don't usually bring it down too low because I don't want it to emphasize texture right here. Sometimes if you bring your highlight like all the way in, it can really emphasize texture. So if you don't want that, then I recommend keeping it high. So you can just see how that adds some light to the face. And then down the bridge of my nose, and then the tip of my nose. And there are no rules in makeup, so if you don't like to put highlight everywhere, or you just want to put it on your cheekbones, do what you want to do. If you want to wear no highlight, if you want to wear only highlight. There are no rules in makeup, so don't feel like you have to do what everybody else is doing. Don't feel like you have to do anything that you don't want to do. And the great thing about makeup is it washes off. So if you do something and you don't like it, then just wash it off and try again. I'm going to put this on my temples. I like a lot of highlight, especially a more subtle highlight. I like to have just really bronzed, glowy skin. That's my favorite type of look, whether I'm doing really light makeup or really intense makeup. I like adding a highlight with this eye combo because we kept the eyes all matte. There's no shimmer. So they're very, very simple. Even though they're fall colors and they're a little bit deeper and richer, they're all matte, and so adding a highlight on the skin just looks really beautiful. And then to finish off the look, I'm just gonna do a more nude fall color lip because I know that really intense, deep lip colors can be kind of overwhelming and kind of scary at first. So I'm gonna stick with something a little bit more nude, still a little bit deeper and richer in color, but I didn't wanna do a super dark, intense lip today because I know that that can kind of scare people at first, which I understand. I think that dark lipstick is the hardest thing to wear when you're first starting out. That's the most intimidating. So I wanted to keep the eyes a little bit smoky, but super easy, very fallish colors, and then I wanna match it with a nude neutral lip to kind of ease you into those fall lip colors. First, I'm going to line my lips with this NYX Suede matte lip liner, and this is in the shade London. This is a really good shade for my natural lip color. It's pretty close. And I am going to be wearing a liquid lipstick today. And the trick to really good liquid lipstick application is to exfoliate your lips first, which I did, and then moisturizing them before you put on the liquid lipstick will help it to feel more comfortable and look a lot smoother on your lips. To finish off the lip today, I'm going to take Kat Von D Bow and Arrow. These liquid lipsticks by Kat Von D are super, super, super long wearing, but I like this one because it's a little deep, but it's still kind of a neutral, nudie shade. So it's perfect if you're wanting to get into the darker fall lip trend, but you haven't ever worn any type of lipstick or any type of darker lip. I love this color. Okay guys, so this is the finished makeup look. I hope that you guys like it. I'm really pleased with how it came out. I love these colors on the eye in fall time, and I think it's absolutely perfect for someone just getting into makeup, someone that's just starting out, or someone that doesn't want to go all the way out, vampy, smoky eye, super dark intense lips. I think that this is a perfect fall look for those of you just starting out, or those of you that just don't want something super intense, but you kind of want to do a fallish type of makeup look. I kept the eyes really simple, all matte shades, smoked them out a little bit, but nothing that is hopefully gonna scare you guys off. This is a great look to kind of transition and ease you into maybe trying some more smoky, more vampy, deep, dark lip trends that are so hot in the fall time. I do want to do a really deep smoky look for fall as well, so that video will be coming. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and remember, you are beautiful, you're a blessing, and I am so thankful for you. Bye! Today I'm going to be sharing my must-have makeup brushes with you. This was a requested video for me to do, and I totally understand